Married people of Reddit, what is the harmless elephant in the room that won't affect your relationship but you never speak of? My wife doesn't screw the top back on the bottle of anything. Everything with a lid is a potential bomb. 80% of our marriages one of us says, "Where's my keys?" and the other saying, "What? I don't think it will change." My wife uses all the dishes when she cooks. I don't even know how that's possible. I'm grateful for the meal but salty that whoever doesn't cook does the dishes. Her leaves half-finished glasses of water everywhere. Also, puts a glass of water next to the bed despite knocking it over at least twice a week. Me, human perfection, no flaws. Neither of us puts up laundry. It's supposed to be one washes the other puts it away but neither of us do it. All our clothes just sit in baskets 99% of the time. It irks us both but we're both guilty so we keep our mouths shut. We have a trinket, small glass monkey, that started out as me putting it on his study desk in secret, to which he would then put it back on mine. Now it has escalated to being hidden in each other's stuff all around the house, underwear drawer, shoes and luggage. We have never spoken about it. Edit, spelling mistake. Divorce lawyer and married man here. Something I saw come up in divorces and tried to make sure was not happening in my own relationship is when one person feels they don't have a life outside their marriage and kids. That feeling will swelter and grate for years and I have seen it finally be the end of long marriages. The spouse who feels they have nothing outside of a marriage eventually blaming the other spouse. My wife works part-time and is home part-time, so I started being pushy about her getting out while I stayed home with the kids. And I really did have to get pushy about it. She wound up playing on an indoor soccer team and getting drinks more regularly with friends. She would often thank me later for being insistent about her getting out and I think it helped relieve something that could have otherwise festered between us. I've seen her ex showering in the gym and his D is about twice as long and thick as mine. Every time he puts on a new toilet paper roll, he does it upside down. I flip it over every time. 16 years and counting. She once bragged about being good at chess and I beat her in 5 moves using a tactic I found on YouTube. We don't speak of chess anymore. The 2 relationships I was in directly before I met my wife ended when my partner died. Nothing suspicious. They both died of cancer. Different cancers. But my wife knows I miss one of them still and we never talk about it. My wife leaving food out on the counter without ever putting it away disgusts me and I end up cleaning up after her every day. I leave my socks everywhere which she finds repulsive. But she cleans them up and never says anything. Neither of us are changing our ways so we just accept it. My wife is the absolute worst storyteller ever. She is so smart and funny, but my goodness. Her stories go on forever. She takes a story that should take 2 minutes to tell and turns it into a 25-minute story with every single detail that actually happened. Edit. Please don't tell my wife. Here's one from a couple I know. For the longest time the guy would walk into the bathroom and there was a number 2 in the toilet unflushed. Frustrated, he would flush and go about his day. One day he walks in. Their cat is squatting over the toilet pooping. He tells his wife about it. She said, "I thought that was you." Both parties were flushing the toilet, annoyed at the other one. Turns out it was the cat. Well, since we've known each other since childhood, she remembers all the times I've cried like a little itch over the stupidest things. I dread the day she figures out how to use that against me. My husband refuses to use our dirty clothes hamper. Socks and underwear are discarded wherever he feels like kicking them off. Capital I. On the other hand, love to cook huge, elaborate meals but refuse to eat leftovers. Also, I put ice in my wine like a heathen. I travel for work and bring back a stuffed animal for her. I did this for years and then found out that she refuses to donate, throw away anything with a face. We have gobs of stuffed animals from my trips all over the place. Did I stop getting her stuffed animals after I learned? Of course not. So the elephant in the room is probably from my Arizona trip. We've finally worked out after 13 years together that sleeping in the same room as each other just doesn't work for us and we are happier and healthier sleeping in separate rooms. Means we have to prioritize intimacy. but we are happier and saner sleeping in his and hers rooms. He snores and likes to watch movies on his iPad until the middle of the night, and I wake up if a mouse rolls over 2 blocks away. Years of sleep deprivation have taught us both that a good night's rest make us more loving partners to each other. I'm jealous of our dog. My husband gives her more attention and affection than he gives me. When the dog comes into the room after having been gone for more than 10 minutes, she gets a full romantic monologue in Spanish while being rocked in his arms. Hola mi ama, ¿quieres? Queers. Hermosa? Sí, sí. Yo sé, te sientes bien? Sí, sí. Claro. Mi ama, estás cansada. Pobrecita? Oh. Pobrecita. Te leva. When I come home after a full day of work, all I get is, oh, hi, then attention back on the dog. Damn that cute little itch. Drives me insane that he eats in bed. Not snacks, but full ducking meals. Spaghetti in bed. Chinese food in bed. Sushi in bed. I freak out that he's going to spill something all over and I'm going to have to wake up to help him change the sheets again. He's a $140 soaking wet, so I don't even know where it goes. If you asked him, it's that I never throw away a piece of paper I needed for that one class 3 months ago or that goat's cheese in the freezer from even before then. He's constantly coming to me with 2 things in his hand saying I can only keep one. He leaves any and all doors drawers open after getting what he needs out of them. Kitchen cabinets, the dishwasher, the microwave, bathroom vanity, closets, dressers, nightstands. I can always tell whether or not he's home when I walk through the front door. It will look like our kitchen is about to be ransacked. I've called him out on it like twice. When I first noticed it was a trend and a time after that, and he was genuinely surprised. He was like, "Ducking with me? You opened some of those?" Nope. 7 kitchen cabinets and drawers apparently had to be opened for you to make your snack. All you, babe. He sincerely apologized. But here we are 4 years later and I still just follow him around closing cabinets and drawers after he leaves the room. It's too comical to fight over. And it really doesn't even bother me terribly. So I just don't bring it up. Nareosus copyright airing. My wife went to the University of Alabama. There are tons of elephants around most rooms of our house. We've both got damaged hearing. His from work and mine from far too many gigs concerts as a teenager. So almost all of our conversations include what? Down the hall haha. Edit. RIP inbox. There is a small red colored magnet hidden somewhere in the house. When it's found it has to be moved to another hiding place. We've been doing this for 15 years now but never talk about it. I have a vastly different sexual drive than my wife. She tries for at least once a month. So I take care of business myself every day or two. Because I have needs. And I'm not going to force my needs to become her burdens. Mail here. The fact that I masturbate. Dave Chappelle calls it the mercy jerk. Especially when your wife is tired. We've been married nearly 10 years and both agree that it's in both of our best interests that I continue my habit. Well, it was a long time ago so it doesn't matter now. But the time I farted in front of her whole family while we were all crowded around a small table looking at something. It was a bad one. One of those ones that's hot coming out. Nobody flinched, left the table, or ever said a word about it. When we got together in our early 20s I kind of moved in with him pretty quickly. He was like, feel just like you're at home. What's mine is yours, but never opened the top drawer of the nightstand, so I was living there with him for almost a year thinking that was where his porn collection was stored or something like that. We never talked about it. Mostly because I was pretty sure I knew what was in there anyway. So what about it? Not that I mind. One evening I was laying on the bed and he was at the computer and I was like, I wish I had my Game Boy Color here with me. I haven't played Pokemon in years and I would like to play it so badly right now. His answer was of course open the top drawer of the nightstand. And there it was, his old Game Boy and the blue version of Pokemon, and we ended up getting a second GBC and the red version and playing it for months. So basically respect your partner's little secrets and never really grow up is the advice I can give you. Edit. Wow. Thank you so much for the gold and all the nice comments. I'm sitting here with a broad grin right now. I feel like everyone here is dating my wife. farts, we've just chose to ignore and never speak of it. Well, there is this bag of luggage at the bottom of the stairs that she left there when we got back from holiday last week. How many previous sexual partners you've each had comes to mind. Some people believe this number should be divulged, but it will never help anything and should be respected as the past. Driving. I taught her to drive when she was about 20 30 years later she is still a slow and mostly careful driver, so if she is driving, I have to allow for extra time to get somewhere as well as be accepting of the fact she might use a different route. When I'm driving, she knows to put her earbuds in and look down at her phone or even close her eyes or else she will be terrified. I fall asleep with my light on nearly every night while reading before bed, and can usually be found face down in a book or my Kindle, or I'll be curled up with it like it's a stuffed animal. My husband has to find a way to get the book Kindle away from me without waking me up. I also leave half full water glasses all over the house. He's rubbish at cleaning the glass lids to our pans, still look filthy with grease food after he's done washing up, and he frequently leaves bits of facial hair all over the bathroom sink. He does his best to clean up, but there's still hairs on everything anyway. We just take this stuff in stride. It's not a deal breaker, and we both know we're each far from perfect. Not me but my parents. We're a Chinese family and my father is born in the Chinese zodiac year of the pig. After they were married, my mother started buying pig themed things for the house. A pillowcase featuring a farm scene, a mug in the shape of a pig, pig figurines, etc. My father thought my mother liked pigs because she kept buying pig themed things, so he started buying pig themed things for the house. 10 years later, with the house filled in pig themed things, they have a conversation and realize that neither of them really were into pigs and they were just buying them for the other person. Our guests who come over see pigs all over the place and think my parents collect them and they buy more pig themed things as gifts for birthdays, anniversaries, etc. She never puts the ducking cap back on the toothpaste. My drastic weight gain and the uphill battle of trying to lose weight. We're not married but he leaves nearly everything he owns in his pockets when he puts his short jeans in the washing machine. I leave Kilimanjaro-sized mounds of beard hair in the sink and fart too much. She's gained 100 pounds in 2 years. It's an unspoken draw. On multiple occasions in our dozen years of marriage, my wife has talked to my farts. As in, I fart and from across the house I hear, "What was that, honey?" It's little things like this that I wake up for every morning. My wife has an eye disorder that makes all cat puke completely invisible, regardless of its size or location in the room. It will sit there until I pick it up, and then when I pick it up she says, "Oh, I didn't see that." He never finished his coffee, so there's always a half-drunk coffee on the table. Sometimes a few if he hasn't put the mugs in the kitchen. I've asked him why, and he says it's because it gets cold too fast. Tried smaller coffees. Still does it. The fact that my husband's father walked out when he was 3 years old. The last memory that my husband has is of his father claiming that he doesn't want him. This has led to my husband being overly protective of our daughter. Frustrates me sometimes but I say nothing because I know why.